Is it time to give up on the Minnesota Vikings season? After the Vikings lost to the Chicago Bears, our playoff chances dropped from about 30% to 4%. Vikings now have a 4% chance at making the playoffs. What is the chance that they make the playoffs? Well, it's going to have to rely on the Arizona Cardinals, Chicago Bears, and of course us. The Bears just have to lose to the Packers, which that's a possible scenario right now, and the Arizona Cardinals will have to lose to both the 49ers and the Rams. That's looking like a possibility. That's a very possible right there. Because of course the Bears going against the Packers. Packers are a great team. They can beat the Bears right there. That should be a lock, I think. But at the same time, the hardest part is that the Vikings have to win out. That means the Vikings have to go on the road against Detroit. This should be easy. Week 17 on the road against Detroit. You just feed Dalvin Cook and he'll give you the win. But again, they have to go on the road primetime against the New Orleans Saints. And New Orleans Saints, they have a lot against us right now. After the Vikings' last couple matchups against the New Orleans Saints, they have a lot against us. Again, Vikings can win that game. And if the Vikings win out, Cardinals will have to lose out and Bears will have to lose against the Packers. That's the way that the Vikings can make the playoffs right there. And that's a 4% chance apparently. And honestly, at this point, who cares? I'm going to be honest. I don't care if my Vikings make the playoffs or not at this point. Because I know that whoever they play in the playoffs, they're going to get humiliated. Because this Vikings defense is awful. This Vikings defense is one of the worst in the NFLs. And I don't think the Vikings can... I know the Vikings cannot make a playoff run or a Super Bowl run, making it to the Super Bowl. There's no way the Vikings can. And even if they make the playoffs, it does not matter. It is worse that the Vikings make the playoffs than that they miss the playoffs. At the same time, I'm going to be cheering that the Vikings do make the playoffs, but it is better off that the Vikings lose out and get a pick somewhere in the 10s. That would be better for the Vikings. So is it time to give up on this Viking season? Yes or no? Yes. Because the Vikings can't make a Super Bowl. But if you're saying that, is it time to give up on the Vikings making the playoffs? Well, then no. Because it's very possible. I mean, the Cardinals can lose out against the 49ers. Now, I know the 49ers are on like their third string quarterback or whatever, but we have seen the Cardinals lose some bad games this season. They can lose against the 49ers and against the Rams. Rams look great. Of course, they lost against the Jets on Sunday, but who cares? The Rams are still a great team. They can beat the Cardinals, and Cardinals can somehow lose to the 49ers. That's possible right there. And then the Bears lose it to the Packers. It's all going to depend on Friday's matchup against the Saints. If the Vikings do finish the season 8-8, they can make the playoffs at 8-8 as a 7 seed because the NFL did add that 7 seed. Vikings can make the playoffs as a 7 seed, and there is still a possibility that the Vikings can make the playoffs. But at the same time, it doesn't matter. It is better off that the Vikings don't, because we know we're going to get our hopes up and the Vikings are going to get humiliated in the playoffs. Whoever they play. Even if the Vikings play whoever's in the NFC East, which they won't because that's going to be whoever's in the 5th seed. Even if the Vikings somehow get to play them, Vikings are going to get humiliated. It's not going to look good at all for this team. Anyways, this is a possible scenario right here that the Vikings do make the playoffs. If that's your goal, if you're cheering that the Vikings just make the playoffs and that's it right there, that's the end of the line, well then yeah, don't give up your hopes. But when I'm thinking about it, Vikings have no chance at the Super Bowl. So I've given up all my playoff hopes, or even my Vikings season hopes at all, just because I know the Vikings can't. And it's better off that the Vikings do pick in the 10s, because what we know is we need someone who can get to the passer without blitzing. Because right now, the only way the Vikings get to the passer is when they blitz Eric Wilson and Harrison Smith. Even Jeff Gladney possibly. But they can't get to the passer without blitzing. And for that reason, I know it is better off that the Vikings lose out, even though I'm going to be cheering that they win out the next couple games. I know from my Minnesota Vikings team, when I watch them, I know in the playoffs, even if they come up with a win, they're going to get humiliated on one of the games. It happened last year against the 49ers after coming off of a huge win against the Saints. Last time we beat the Saints, it happened against the Eagles. It's going to happen again if the Vikings make the playoffs. They're going to get humiliated on one of the games because of how bad our defense is. And our offense, if you stop Dalvin Cook, if you contain Dalvin Cook, our offense doesn't look good either. But if the Vikings establish the run, our offense does look good. That's how it rolls right there. Let me know what y'all think. Are you giving up on the Vikings season yet? Or are you going to cheer that they do make a playoff berth and you're going to watch them in the playoffs get humiliated on one of the games? Let me know.